Hello everybody, welcome back to Modern Meta Matchups, and on today's episode we have a new take on Reanimator, something we haven't done on this channel before, and we have a returning deck with Crashing Footfalls. So I'm going to be playing the Reanimator. It's Goryo's Reanimator. Basically we're trying to bring Atraxa, the new Atraxa, into play. Very exciting. Lets you go through the top 10 cards and kind of find a bunch of things. In addition to the Atraxa, we still have Grizzlebrand in the deck. And how are we bringing these back? Well, they're legendary, so we can't use Persist. Instead, we're using Goryo's Vengeance. So pretty exciting stuff with this. Excited to kind of dig my way through the deck, try to reanimate these big fat creatures and hopefully take JC down.
Yeah, I'm playing Crashing Footfalls, so I've got my Cascaders, I've got some Force Negations, some Brazen Borrowers, some Fire Ices. A little bit of interaction just to keep you from doing anything too relevant, I hope. And then I want to hit you with some 4/4s.
Plus you got those Murktide Regents this time around.
Yeah, now I'm playing Murktide Regent to have something to fly over and maybe even be bigger than your creatures.
Yeah, I really like these two decks, and if you like these videos, you can let us know very easily by hitting that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe, tell a friend. It means a lot to us.
And leave us a comment down below letting us know what you liked and what decks you'd love to see in the future.
And without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into the gameplay. All right, let's, ooh. I hope I rolled more than what you were just showing. I did.
And I rolled what I was just showing. I predicted the future, Austin. That ought to count for something.
I'm gonna go first.
Dang. Well, I accept. I have no choice.
I think I can try this.
I'm willing to keep this.
All right, so my opening hand here in game one is decent. I've got 3 lands, 2 Marsh Flats, and a Flooded Strand. As far as the rest of my hand goes, I've got a Solitude and a Grief, so I've got a couple of the pitch elementals going on here. Unfortunately, no Ephemerate, but I do have an Atraxa in my hand, so if I need to, I can always discard this to either of them. That's one of the benefits of having the Atraxa, is I can discard it to either elemental, because I'm not really going to be casting the Atraxa from my hand. If I can discard it somehow and reanimate it, that's great, but it does work as a nice pitch card. And then the last card in my hand is a Shadow Prophecy. So this card is one of the best cards in the deck. It allows me to dig up to 5 cards, put a couple cards into my hand, put the rest in the graveyard so I can bin my big fat reanimation target while also picking up my Goryo's Vengeance to reanimate it with. So this hand could be better, but it's got a lot of the pieces that I need. We'll see what happens here.
All right, my game 1 opening hand feels a little land heavy, but I've got some good spells to back it up. I've got 4 lands, a Wooded Foothills, a Scalding Tarn, an Island, and a Breeding Pool. So I've got all the mana I should need for this entire game. I've got a Fire Ice, a Force Negation, and a Crashing Footfalls. So the hope is to suspend Crashing Footfalls on turn 1 and then hold up some interactive spells for the rest of the game until I can land the Rhinos and just start punching Austin in the face.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and lead things off with the Marsh Flats.
Okay.
I'll then pass the turn.
Okay. I will draw. Oh boy. Let's start with a Breeding Pool untapped. And I'll go to 18 and suspend this.
Yep.
Crashing Footfalls.
I'll have to worry about that later on this game.
And after that, I'm all set.
Oh, at the end of your turn, I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice the Marsh Flats, and I will get a Indatha Triome.
Okay.
All right. How about Marsh Flats the second?
Yeah, that's a thing you can do.
I'll pass.
All right. I'll untap. Ticks to 3. Draw a card. Okay, okay. Well, I think what we want to do here is play this Wooded Foothills.
Okay.
And I'm just going to pass the turn.
At the end of your turn, I'll go ahead and sacrifice my Marsh Flats and grab a Rogren Triome.
You got it.
And then we'll go to my turn. I'll draw this lovely card. And let's start things off with a grief, and I'll exile an Atraxa to play it.
Think I'm going to respond to that by fetching my Wooded Foothills for a basic mountain.
Sure thing. All right.
Yeah, I think that's going to resolve. I have a Fire Ice, a Violent Outburst, and a Force of Negation, as well as 3 lands.
Let's go ahead and take that Violent Outburst.
Yep, it's gone.
And then my grief will die.
Yep.
Atraxa is exiled. And then I'll go ahead and play a Swamp and pass the turn.
Okay. At the end of your turn, I'm going to ice your Rogran Triome and draw a card.
I'll respond. I'll just pay 3 and play my Shadow Prophecy
You
here.
got it.
So I get to look at 5 cards. Because I have 5 land types, and I get to put 2 into my hand. The rest go to my graveyard. I'll go hand and and then these 3 will go to the graveyard. Flooded Strand, Marsh Flats, and Collective Brutality.
Okay.
I also lose 2 life.
Yep. And then I get to draw a card.
You get to draw a card.
Draw a card. This goes away. My turn?
Yep.
Okay. Untap. Goes to 2. Draw a card.
Inevitable ticking.
Yep. Let's play an island. And let's play a Shardless Agent. Trigger.
Yeah. You get to flip.
Let's catch a Triome. Ooh. Oh, look. Only 3 cards down.
Yeah, you get to make some rhinos.
I would like to make some 4/4s. Here are my 4/4s.
Yep.
And then Shardless Agent will resolve.
It does indeed.
And then after that, I'm just going to pass.
All right. I don't love that. I'll draw a card. Okay. Flooded Strand. Let's see. I think here I'm just going to fetch for a basic island.
Okay.
And with this 4 mana here,
Uh-oh.
I'll go ahead and hard cast a grief.
No! I have 3 lands and a Force of Negation, so...
Let's go ahead and get rid of that Force of Negation.
Makes me sad.
And then I'll just pass the turn.
Okay. I will untap, tick this down to 1, and draw.
I do like seeing nothing but lands.
Yeah. There's that Scalding Tarn that you saw. I am not afraid. I will go 10 to your face.
I'll block the Shardless Agent
Sure.
and take 8 down to 7.
You got it.
That hurts.
These are both dead. After that, I'm just going to pass the turn.
All right. Can I draw something that is good? That doesn't really qualify here. I will pass the turn.
On your end step, I'm going to fetch my Scalding Tarn for a tapped Steam Vents.
Sure thing.
I will untap,
Yep.
upkeep.
I'll respond to the last trigger there.
Sure.
I'll just do it now. I'll go ahead and pay 1 to play a Leyline Binding on one of your rhinos.
I guess I lose a rhino.
And then, you can resolve your...
Sure. I will get 2 additional rhinos.
At least those 2 can't attack this turn.
That's true. Draw step.
Uh-huh.
Draw. Interesting. Interesting. Let's play the forest you knew about. And swing for 4.
All right, so I'm at 7 here. JC's coming in with a Rhino. He's got 2 more that can't attack this turn, but will be able to next turn, which means I kind of need to deal with this. I could go down to 3 and hope to reanimate a big creature next turn and kind of gain some of that life back and try to stabilize. The problem is, if I do that, he still has 3 attackers, and if I don't find a way to reanimate, I'm just going to be dead, and I won't even have outs to being able to draw some more removal. So, unfortunately, I do have to lose my Atraxa, which really, really sucks here because I need this Atraxa, and I was hoping to maybe be able to reanimate it next turn, but I just have to exile it from my hand and cast a Solitude here. Yeah, I don't think I can afford to take that 4 here, so I'm going to play a Solitude, exiling a Atraxa here.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
You get to go back to your starting
I go
life
to 20. Hooray for me. All right, well, I'm going to pass after that.
All right. I need to draw something good here. Unfortunately, that does not qualify. I am dead.
Okay. Okay.
Let's go to the sideboard and get into game 2.
Sounds good.
All right, for the sideboard here, I have a few cards that kind of stop your deck a little bit.
I would say so.
Got a couple copies of Silence, which when you go to cast your first Cascade card, cast Silence, then you can't cast the actual Rhino, so that's good. Teferi shuts down Cascade as well, so those are good for stopping what you're trying to do. As far as what to cut, I'm just going to kind of cut a few of my draw spells, so 1 Faithful Mending, 1 Tainted Indulgence, and then Solitude, while it's fine. If I don't really have the Ephemerate with it, it's only answering 1 Rhino, it's not as good. Obviously with Ephemerate, it completely answers Rhinos nicely, but...
And you also have Leyline Binding, so...
I already have Leyline Binding.
You have answers, yeah. Yeah, I agree, and over here, I want to interact with your graveyard. So I'm bringing 4 of these in, 4 Endurance. And 1 Gemstone Caverns, because I'm going to be on the draw, and I want to increase my chances of having extra mana early so that you don't have time to get Teferi out. I'm cutting Furies because they kill basically nothing in your deck, or the things they kill, everything else kills. 1 Mystical Dispute because you only have 1 blue spell I super care about, and 1 Fiery Islet for the Gemstone Cavern.
Right, and if we go to game 3, then you'll bring the Fire Islet back in.
Correct.
For the cavern.
Correct.
All right, sounds good. Let's go ahead and get over to game 2. All right, well, I'm going to be insane and go again on the play. Making the same choices.
I mean, it might work out for you this time.
Yeah, I'll try this.
I'm willing to keep this one.
All right, so for game 2 here, I've got a pretty good hand. 2 lands, one of them a Godless Shrine, the other a Flooded Strand. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get all 5 colors of mana here, but that's not going to be too important for me, I don't think. The rest of my hand is pretty good. I've got a Grief and an Ephemerate, and to go along with this, I've got a few more black cards, so I'll be able to pitch something to that Grief. I've got a Tainted Indulgence, a Collective Brutality, and a Goryo's Vengeance. So I'm going to be able to get rid of up to 3 cards from JC's hand with the Grief Ephemerate combo. And I've got the Goryo's Vengeance, so if I eventually find some sort of reanimation target, I'm good to go. I'm excited to see what happens this turn.
Okay, game 2. I'm a little land light. I've only got 2. It's a Wooded Foothills and a Breeding Pool. But I have 2 Force of Negation. So even a Grief isn't enough to stop me here. I've also got a Fire Ice and a Mystical Dispute and a Shardless Agent. So I have all the interaction I could possibly want, as well as a way to cascade into some Rhinos. This hand should be good enough. I just need to hit a 3rd land.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and lead off on a untapped Godless Shrine.
No. No, don't do it, Austin.
And then I'm going to play this here, Grief, by exiling a Collective Brutality.
I see. Well, it's going to resolve. I have 2 lands.
Okay.
I have a Fire Ice, a Mystical Dispute, a Shardless Agent, and 2 Force of Negations.
2 Force of Negations.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I am going to take your Shardless Agent.
Rats. He saw the line.
And then I'll make you use 2 more cards if you want to stop.
Yes,
my
I
ephemerate.
I will force a negation, and I think it's got to be the Mystical Dispute.
All right.
So I'm choosing to use my force negation here and exile the Mystical Dispute because Dispute hits fewer things in Austin's deck, and the only one I really care about hitting is Teferi. And I need to not have Austin having a 3/2 Menace body in play. So it's better to just get rid of this Ephemerate and lose the extra card that way.
I'll pass the turn.
Okay. I will draw.
We're both working on limited cards now.
Yep. I will play this Wooded Foothills, and I will pass the turn.
All right. I'll draw. I'll just play this Flooded Strand, and I will pass the turn.
On your end step, I'm going to go get a Ketria Triumph.
Sure thing.
All right, I'm going to untap, and I'm going to draw, as is my right.
I guess.
I'm going to shock this breeding pool,
Sure thing.
and then I'm going to pass the turn to you.
At the end of your turn, I'm going to go ahead and fetch, and I'll actually shock myself. I'll grab an untapped Watery Grave.
Okay.
And I'll go ahead and pay 2 mana here and cast Tainted Indulgence.
Rats, yeah.
I'll draw 2. And I will discard a Grizzlebrand.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Go to my turn.
Yeah. On your upkeep,
Yep.
I'm going to attempt to ice your Godless Shrine.
I think I just want to go for this now. I'm going to play a Goryos Vengeance,
Okay.
targeting my Grizzlebrand.
Yeah, that's a
Hope that
thing.
you didn't draw a blue card.
Didn't draw a blue card.
All right. So Grizzlebrand will come back, and you get to draw your card.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, you can proceed to your draw step.
I'll draw my card, and then I'll attack you for 7.
Sure am going to 10.
And I gain 7. I would like to pay that 7 life immediately and draw 7 cards.
You got it. Bad news bears for me.
I would like to lose 7 more life and draw 7 more cards.
Okay.
All right, so with the Grizzlebrand here, I've got a lot of life, which means I can draw a lot of cards. I don't necessarily need to draw more than 7 typically at this point, but I really need to find an Ephemerate, and it wasn't in the first 7, so, you know, sometimes you just got to draw a lot of cards and discard a lot of cards. I want to see what's going on in your hand there, so I'm going to cast a Grief, and I'll exile this Collective Brutality.
Okay. So the force negation you knew about,
Yep.
and a bunch of lands.
Let's go ahead and get rid of that Force of Negation.
Yeah.
I will then play a Hallowed Fountain, go down to 6.
I don't like where this is going.
And I'll play a Ephemerate on the Grizzlebrand.
I see.
And then I need to go to my end step here.
And clean up.
Yeah, so I'll discard 1, 2, 3. Two more cards. Okay. Go ahead.
All right, I will untap. I will draw. Ah, boy. You hate to see it. I will play a mountain
Yep.
that you knew about, and I will pass the turn.
All right. I am not going to cast the Ephemerate,
Okay.
so that one will just stay in exile, actually.
You got it.
Not really sure what I should be worried about. I'll just Goryos Vengeance to get back my Atraxa.
Yeah, that's fine.
Trigger.
Yes.
I look at the top 10. And I can get one of each type.
Yep. You in fact reveal all the cards, but
Yeah.
go ahead and tell me what you're getting and what's going to your yard.
That'll be enchantment.
Yep.
Instant.
Yep.
Land. And creature.
Yep.
And then the rest of this goes on the bottom.
Okay.
I have 14 damage.
Yeah, I had a combination of things that might have worked if you didn't have a second hasty creature, but I am very dead.
Yeah. Take for 14.
Yep, I am very dead, and we'll go to game 3.
Sounds good. Let's get to game 3.
Okay, me first.
You first.
Me first.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want you to go first, though.
Well, that's a shame. I think that this is good enough. I will keep it.
Against possibly my better judgment, I'm going to keep this as well.
Okay.
All right, for game 3 here, I've got one land, and I'm not excited about keeping a one-lander. I've got a Marsh Flats, but the rest of this hand is telling me to go for it. I've got 2 copies of Grief, I've got 2 copies of Atraxa, a Tainted Indulgence, and an Ephemerate. So this means I can take 4 cards from JC's hand and leave him stranded with nothing. If I draw even just a land, then I can start to draw cards and hopefully just kind of snowball from there. But I like the fact that I can get 4 cards out of JC's hand while also leaving behind a 3/2 Menacing Body. So let's see what happens here.
All right, my game 3 opening hand is a little risky, but I do get to suspend Crashing Footfalls on turn 1 on the play. I have a Forest and a Wooded Foothills, as well as a Fire Ice, a Force Negation, and a Murktide Regent, and an Endurance. So I've got a hate piece, I've got interaction, and I've got another threat to kill Austin. Hopefully all of this adds up to enough, and otherwise I just need to draw a 3rd land and one of my Cascade spells. I'm going to start with a Forest.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put this on suspend.
Sure.
And I'm going to pass.
All right, I'll draw. Okay. I'm going to play on Marsh Flats.
Okay.
And I would like to play a Grief by exiling an Atraxa.
Yeah, every time. Okay, I have another land, an Endurance, a Fire Ice, a Force Negation, and a Murktide Regent.
Okay. Let's go ahead and take your Force of Negation. With the sack here on the stack, I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice my Marsh Flats to get a Godless Shrine.
Okay. I have a feeling I know what's coming.
It costs 1 white mana.
No.
Ephemerate?
Boo. Yeah, it resolves.
So
Grief comes back.
Grief comes back, and let's go ahead and get rid of that Fire Ice.
Rats. My good cards.
I'll then pass.
Okay, well, I'll untap. And this goes down to 3. And then I will draw.
Yep.
And I will play this Wooded Foothills.
You got it.
And, yeah, nothing I can do. I pass.
All right. Go to my upkeep.
Yep.
I'd like to cast the Ephemerate.
Yeah. So the new card we've added is Odawara.
Let's see. I think just because it's going to be castable, we'll take the endurance first.
You got it. Makes good sense.
And then I'd like to draw my card.
Yeah, go for it.
I see. Not what I wanted. Alright. Is it going to be possible for you to cast Murktide? 1, 2, 3, 4 cards in the graveyard with 3 lands in play. Means yes.
Means yes.
In that case, I would like to play a Grief, exiling his Grizzlebrand.
I will discard the Murktide Regent. You still know about an Odawara.
Yes. I would then like to pass the turn without playing a second land.
Yeah, I'm going to, on your end step, go get my Ketria Triumph.
Sure thing.
Tap. Upkeep goes to 2.
Yeah, I'm scared of the down tick on that counter there.
Well, let's make it a little scarier.
Yeah, that's
I drew a good one.
Yeah, you did.
I'm going to flip until I hit. It's
Sure.
right there.
Next card,
It's
yeah.
right there. I'm going to cast this. And
Why
get,
couldn't you draw that first? Because like,
it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Apparently. And then Shardless Agent resolves, and I will pass the turn.
all right, I will hope to draw a land. I will not draw a land. I will pass the turn.
Okay. Ticks down to 1.
Yep.
Draw. Okay. I would like to go to combat.
Yep.
Attack for 10.
I'll take 8. Go down to 9.
Okay. Shardless Agent is very dead, and I will pass the turn.
This is not a land, so there's nothing that I will be able to do this game. You got it.
Okay.
Good game.
Good game.